people who go down that route.
Okay, let's go back to the issue of murder. What kind of conditions are in place here to make sure there's no miscarriage of justice or any of those other things?
So again, we go back to the same principle, al-hudud tudra'u bil-shubuhat, that any kind of shubha.
So you mentioned this a few times, that this issue of doubt, any kind of doubt means that the prescribed punishment is. Who's in charge of identifying whether this is a doubt or this is not a doubt?
So there are two things. First of all, you have the Sharia as a whole, as a legislation, the Islamic law, which gives us framework and principles within which to work. And you have a judge who is responsible for looking at this case and who is responsible for taking submissions from the people. So for example, the person comes and says, I did not do this, or I don't believe this happened, or I was not sane at the time, or anything like that. For example, someone claims insanity. Of course, the judge is going to look into the reality of that. They're going to take medical testimony. They're going to look into the reality of whether that person was sane or insane. But that is a shubha at the end of the day.
Fine.
It
needs to be investigated.
It needs to be investigated, because if it is true that the person was not in possession of their full faculties, then we can't carry out the had upon them. There can be the potential of ta'zir, of discretionary punishment, but there can't be the prescribed punishment can't be carried out. I think one of the limits that we have, or the limiting factors we have in cases of murder, is that we have the three levels. The fact that not everyone who is killed is considered to be of this high level of murder that entails qisas, that entails retribution. But instead, it depends on what was intended. So let's give an example. You have accidental killing. So accidental killing is something where the person didn't take any steps to kill that person, but the end result was that the person died. So it could be, for example,
you're driving your car and someone runs over
driving your car, but you're not driving your car. This issue of driving the car dangerously is one that needs some looking into. But you're driving the car in fairly normal way, and you hit somebody. At the end of the day, you caused them to die, but you didn't murder them. Accidental killing is one level, but the next level up is this kind of, I don't know how to frame it.
In between that and murder,
that sort of semi-accidental is where a person might, for example, to give an example, someone goes to actually hurt somebody, but they aim to hurt someone with something that la yaqtulu ghaliban. Usually, it would not be expected to cause them to die. It wouldn't be expected that they cause them to die. For example, let's just say they punched them a few times. They wanted to hurt them, but they didn't do so in a way that you would expect that person to die. But the person died. So now this is the next level up. Murder, even if a person was to say, I didn't intend to kill them, but they took steps that would be expected to result in someone's death. For example, they stabbed someone to death. And he said, well, I didn't intend to kill him. I just intend to hurt him. I wanted to stab him just a couple of times and hurt him. He died. Sorry, but when you pulled a knife out and you stabbed that person, you did something that is expected typically to result in someone's death. That is quite conceivable. That is considered to be murder in Islam of the highest degree. Even if the person's final intention was not to actually kill that person, but it was to cause them severe harm, but they did so with something which is expected to kill somebody.
Understood.
Like they shot them and they said, I was only trying to shoot him in the leg or in the arm or something. But ultimately, you pulled the gun out, you pulled the trigger. You know what typically happens when you shoot a person is that there is a high chance of that person is going to die. Then that is considered to be